Hello everybody and welcome back to another cast, another Total Annihilation cast. Today we are going to be casting a bar game. I did one bar game before on my channel. It was the Pros vs. Joes game. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It was pretty cool. Guys, I'm a little surprised at how popular that video was. My viewers seem to want more of that kind of content, and so ask and ye shall receive. I definitely am surprised that bar has been so popular with my viewers, but at the same time it is really cool, and who am I to question the will of the people? So let's get into this one. This is a 5v5, and we'll just go through each team here. On the Eastern team, which we'll also call Team 2, we have the yellow Corps Commander, Futpib or Footpib. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but he went K-Bots first. We have the red Arm Commander Nax. We have the orange Commander Hemerold. I don't even know how to pronounce that. We have in beige Grak, and in pink we have too many Belladrills. Okay, some interesting names there. Now for Team 1, on the left we have the green Corps Commander Kobold. We have the light green Commander Panini Pie. In blue we have Grandor CZ. That might mean Czech. I think it probably means Czech. Then we have Robotronic, and finally we have Templier Telly. So, guys, this is a 5v5. I'm trying to remember the name of the map. Oh yeah, the map is called Valles Marineris. Again, I think brutalizing the pronunciations on a lot of this stuff. But anyway, it's a 5v5. I may have said it was a 6v6 earlier, but it is a 5v5. And I'm interested to see what these players can accomplish. Here at the beginning, we just have a couple AKs on the part of Grak to try to get some harassment done, and he will get a couple metal extractors and maybe even a wind turbine. That is very annoying for Dark Green to deal with. He is trying to throw up a light laser tower quickly because these two AKs seem to be the bane of his literal existence. But, here in the beginning, usually on these big team games, it will be kind of slow because everybody is just kind of teching up and building their bases. So we're just going to speed it up and let the players do their thing. Let the players get their eco going, get their lives together and such. As you can see, orange and red here kind of taking control of this little island, and that's pretty cool. Red with some Rockos moving in to take out those defenses. But we'll slow it down again here because now we have potentially an engagement on Teal's commander. Of course, Teal is running off, but orange with a lot of peewees here. And we'll have to see what he wants to do with those. He does seem to be heading towards Teal's base. And Teal does not have a lot to defend this. This could definitely be pretty devastating. But Teal does have his commander there, and he does have the degen, of course. But he doesn't want to degun his own factory. Oh my god. Oh, he degunned his own factory? Oh my god, dude. Okay. Orange is he's a mad villain. He's a evil genius. That was incredible. But yeah, a little bit of aggression down here on the part of what would this be? Light green. Light green and dark green are very hard to tell apart. I'm just gonna say that right now. So you know, I do apologize in advance if I get those two players confused. But here we have some Wolverines, and the Wolverine is it's like a T1 light artillery vehicle. These were recently added to Escalation, and green, looks like dark green, also moving in with some raiders to try to get that harassment done. So anyway, yeah, these units were recently added to Escalation as well, but they have been in the BA/bar game for pretty much since the beginning, I think. They're interesting because they're kind of useless in combat with other units, but against buildings, they're extremely effective, as we've seen here. So very niche and kind of one-purpose type unit, but accomplishing that purpose very effectively. They do outrange most T1 defenses, but again, almost completely useless in combat. So extreme polarity, I guess, of usefulness. But I mean, dark green continuing to push forward here with his commander, and we'll have to see. Let's look at the players' bases here. Pink just seems to be going pure eco. Beige on 2 factories. Yeah. Now red he's got a lot of Roccos, and these will, I think, outrange the light laser towers. Blue moving in with these warriors, but the problem is the Roccos do outrange warriors. So he can red can kite blue stuff. Teal, I think, is trying to get the D-gun here, but he's got to be careful, man. Like, one volley of rockets could explode him. He's juking. He's jiving. Oh my god. Teal is playing with fire. Okay, blue's sending that wall of warriors to say, back off. Don't kill my friend here. But yeah, as you can see, these Roccos pretty effective when microed correctly. It's very similar to Escalation, just the way that Roccos are kind of like kings of T1. Once you get a critical mass of them, it feels like they beat everything because you can just micro them out of the way of any threat. Yellow here with a lot of AKs. Moving in for some kind of sneaky aggression through the top here. Now, oh, here we go. Green moving in with an army. Peewees. And, oh my god. Is he gonna get Beige's commander? Beige's commander got really low. He was surrounded. And, you can still get him. He's still got a lot of AK, or not AKs, but Peewees. And but now Orange sending in some reinforcements to stop this hapless aggression on the part of Team 1. So very well done by the Eastern team. I mean, I really thought that the Beige might die there, but no. He will survive. And Now beige moving through with these rectors to just resurrect all these dead corpses and enslave them, mind control them onto his own team. So, yeah, very nicely done. And Pink actually moving through here with some bomber runs as well. I don't know how much his bomber runs are going to accomplish. They're getting a little bit of damage done, but bombers aren't the greatest for killing units in escalation, for killing armies. Better for killing buildings, usually, or commanders. And yeah, green can just throw up some air defense, so ultimately that bombing run was interesting but doesn't work. And now dark green moving through with this Wolverines, the light artillery vehicles that we mentioned earlier, and those will put a lot of pressure on these defenses. Green moving in, and Cobalt actually moving his commander in as well. He's got to be careful. There's a lot of defenses here. There's also things going on at the top. A lot of Roccos versus Warriors. And Warriors are kind of expensive. I mean, Blue has invested a massive amount of resources into this huge army. And those will take out the defenses really quickly. So red is going to have to micro away from these things because, yeah, those warriors are nothing to scoff at. But now, red bringing in some Fidos. And Fidos, similar to how they are in escalation, they are an extremely effective skirmishing unit. They are able to kind of juke in and out of combat very effectively. They outrange most T1 things, and they hit in an AoE as well, so they will shred those warriors apart and outrange them quite effectively. But let's go and see what's going on here in the bottom. The green players, the two green players, have managed to take out most of the defense that was here in this area. Let's see. Yeah, this is gone. And beige just throwing up some more light laser towers in the back there, but those aren't going to do much against this light mobile artillery spam. Blue moving in with warriors once again, but as I said, these Fidos will be a good counter, outranging the warriors and doing some decent AoE damage as well. Blue's going to be forced to back off. I mean, all these warriors are nice, but it just feels like, in a way, they may not get too much accomplished this game. I'm very kind of skeptical. Building that many warriors, you really need to use them quickly. But again, yellow with another attack. And he's got quite a few units. He's got some pyros mixed in with his AKs. We have seen in previous casts how powerful pyros can be in combat. So let's watch how this engagement happens. Of course, all those warriors are still here. And here goes the fight. Oh man, those warriors like a brick wall, and even the pyros don't stand a chance. There they go. So, okay, I was wrong. Those warriors do end up being useful as stopping yellow's raiding aggression that he had just attempted. So, no raiding for you, yellow. That is what blue says. But red also moving forward now with this army of Fidos and Roccos. And again, this army is very well positioned to deal with what blue has built. So we will have to see what happens. But here at the bottom, it seems as though beige and orange continuing to build defenses here. And the problem is static defenses, I mean, as we've mentioned in previous casts, can be easily countered. These Wolverines would do a good job of it. While bringing his commander in here to do some damage. But also, is this dark green? Is building a geothermal plasma battery, but red might stop it. Geothermal plasma battery doesn't exist in Escalation, but it's existed in the Absolute Annihilation series of mods since pretty much the beginning. This is a geothermal that you can place. It's like it's a battery. It's a cannon battery that you can place on geothermals. It's actually pretty devastating. It's a really interesting building. And he's going to build another one. If he could finish this, he could just shell all of this defense, everything on the low ground with impunity. It would be absolutely awesome. But here we go. Yellow with another push through the top. And again, I can't see that this push will do much better than the last ones did. But now blue on Fat Boys, and ooh, as you can see, each Fat Boy shot, so devastating. He just took out pretty much that entire army in one volley. Boom. That second volley took out the whole army. So, Fat Boys don't exist in Escalation, and I don't really know how to describe them. Oh my god, here we go. Hold that thought. Oh, this Goliath is such a monster. But I don't really know how to describe the Fat Boy, except to say that it's basically like a walking Goliath for arm. It's slower than a Goliath, but it's got this massive cannon that hits in like a short to medium range that does a huge AoE. So it's kind of like a walking Goliath for arm. It's pretty cool. It's been around for a long time, and it's especially really good against clumped up armies because it has a huge AoE. Oh, it's actually its range is longer than I thought. It's definitely got a longer range than a Goliath. So, oh, just absolutely devastating against defenses. But red does have a sniper here, and this sniper will be a pretty decent counter there. But okay, their commander has died, and I wasn't watching. It was probably this Banisher that took it out. And we also have some Mavericks on the field. Mavericks in bar are interesting because they have a very specific role. Let's see, like if you mouse over them, it says Skirmish K-Bot, Fast Learning Auto Repair. So this unit will repair itself. And what it means by fast learning is that in bar, units can gain experience. And the more experienced they become, the more powerful they become. Another push here by yellow. Will this one be any more effective than the past 3 pushes? We'll have to see. Blue doesn't seem to have his forces positioned correctly. His forces are down here. So yellow might be able to get something done this time. Maybe. There's a lot of light laser towers, but of course pyros do shred those very quickly. And yellow finding a back entrance to the base. Will he get anything done this time? He does kill some defenses there. But anyways, what I was saying is that so units gain experience in bar, and as they gain experience, they become stronger. So the Maverick gains experience even more quickly than other units. So the Maverick is strange because it's kind of like, it's like a T2 unit that is designed to get a lot of kills. And as it gets a lot of kills, it becomes more and more powerful. It's really almost designed to kill T1 very effectively. And as it kills all the T1 stuff, it gets a ton of experience and becomes unstoppable. So that's kind of how Mavericks are designed in this game. It's kind of similar in Escalation, like Mavericks were always really good against T1. But in this game, they're even more of a snowball-y unit. So, Red building a lot of snipers here, and snipers are, you know, similar to how they are in Escalation. They shoot one powerful shot. You can't even see the shot, but it's essentially a purple laser, right? It's a massive front-loaded damage. And each shot will be devastating every time it hits, similar to, like, say, a penetrator. But they do seem to be missing. I don't see that they're actually hitting their targets. When they do hit their targets, you'll know, because its health bar will get chunked. So, but yeah, I didn't get this. Yeah, one fat boy shot did take out all of those shooters. So, yeah, guys, the range of these fat boys is bigger than I thought. I compared it to a Goliath, and its weapon. Its shell is similar to a Goliath in the sense of it's just like a massive AoE plasma shell. But at the same time, like the Fat Boy has a lot more range. So, yeah, the Fat Boy is an interesting unit. You do see them sometimes in team games. But this is a Diplomat, I think. Rocket launcher, sending up some rockets. I think he's probably targeting this. Oh no, he's targeting the units. Nice job there. But yeah, ultimately, Blue doing a really good job here. Building these fat boys, you know, fat boys are kind of like king of the battlefield on T2. Very strong and hard to deal with. As you can see, Red has tried to deal with them. These snipers are a decent counter, but you have to be careful because one fat boy shot can wipe out a whole massive group of snipers or sharpshooters or whatever we're calling them. So, yeah. But Team 1 having the better eco. If you just look at the top right, they're on about 300 metal per second, it seems. So Team 2 is like 230, and we continue to see these snipers attempt to deal with the fat boys, but the fat boys just I don't know, man. The fat boys just seem to outrange them and take them out in mass groups. And now the fat boys moving into the actual defensive line here. Fat boys will be very strong against static defense. And I would assume this Guardian is going to go down in no time flat. Try to keep an eye on it. These fat boys do seem to have a long reload time. But Blue also throwing up some Annihilators here. And those will help in the effort. Yeah, these fat boys aren't firing. I don't know if Blue has vision. Let's see, can we check? Oh, by the way, one cool thing about Bar is that you can switch to a player's perspective and literally see what they're looking at and what they're microing. So this is what Blue was doing at this point in the game. This is what he was seeing, and this is what he was microing. So yeah, there wasn't a radar, so he couldn't see what he was shooting at. But you can see now that there's a radar, he's moving his units into position to take that off. So pretty cool there. That is a really neat feature of Bar, that you can see the player point of view, the POV cam. But yeah, Blue moving through, and Team 1 doing a good job here of putting on that pressure. But in the meantime, Yellow putting on pressure of his own. He's got some Dominators. He's got some Mortys as well. But Zeus's are pretty well positioned to counter this force. So we will see. We will see, my friends. Red's still on the sharpshooter game plan, and you know, sharpshooters are good, but apparently there's also a TV option. I haven't tried this. It says it automatically switches between the top players every 40 seconds. So Blue right now definitely one of the top players. And now we're looking at what it feels like to play from Blue's perspective. But it said it would switch every 40 seconds, so I'm kind of interested to see who it will go to next. Yeah, Blue's eco is also pretty good here. It's almost like the game is casting for me. Oh, okay, now we have switched to green, I think. Light green. So yeah, this game, this mode is being a little unfair. It's only showing us players on the West team. Of course, we could obviously look at players from the East team at any time. Let's go ahead and look at like Yellow's perspective. This is zooming in and out like a madman, bro. How do you play like this? Oh, whoa. It's like a roller coaster. Yeah, these players play from so far out. It's actually kind of crazy. I don't think I would play this far zoomed out most of the time. But maybe that's just my OTA roots. You know, I like to kind of be in the action. I mean, sometimes you have to zoom out, obviously. But playing this far out, man, it feels like you're playing with little checkers or lemmings or icons instead of actual units. But okay, here we go. Pink has a tremor, and these are a devastating heavy artillery vehicle that just shoots a endless wave of shells at their opponent. So you can kind of see here the tremor raining death on Dark Green's stuff. And now Dark Green has a tremor of his own. So, but Light Green moving down here with a quite a considerable army of Fidos and these all-terrain rocket bots. And red, I mean not red, yellow moving in as well with quite a few pyros. So the action is happening here all over the battlefield, and it's hard to say what team is going to come out on top. Pink does have a Goliath, and Goliaths are pretty good in these situations when they can hit a lot of clumped up units. But yeah, these pyros also continuing to move through, and Yeah, I don't know. In the end, it seems as though the West team will hold that push. Just barely. So, yeah, great job by them. And both teams now throwing up some long-range plasma cannons, some big Berthas. As we see here, Bertha, a remnant of the OTA world, one of the coolest things about the original game, and one of the things you can't really do in most other RTSs. These long-range plasma cannons have always been a staple of the genre. Killing your opponent from a massive distance away is a very cool feature of the TA franchise, and pretty much all the games have that mechanic, regardless of how much they have strayed from the original, strayed from God's light, as you may say. But yeah, these Recluse moving in here. Orange, though, does have quite a few Mavericks. And Green with some snipers of his own. Snipers are incredibly effective if you can keep them alive and screen for them. You really need to have units to kind of draw the enemy fire while the snipers devastate with their powerful rifles, sniper rifles. But both teams struggling to make headway here. However, Blue now on 2 Berthas, and as we've seen in the past, Berthas will slowly but surely win the game on their own if you build enough of them. They can be so devastating, and Yellow already starting to feel the pressure, throwing up some shields to try to slow this down, but each Bertha shot will be so devastating, and you have to have a lot of energy to run the shields efficiently. So once a player has enough Berthas, it becomes hard to stop that. Even with the shields, it becomes difficult to slow down that amount of pressure. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this. The way the shields actually work, you can see here, they will deflect the shots. So it's like a bubble, and the plasma shell will hit the shield, and the shield will bounce it off, almost like a trampoline, right? It's like the shell comes in, and the shield bounces it off in the other direction. You know, as you can kind of see right there. But what happens is, as the shield loses power, you know, as it takes damage, its ability to deflect or reflect the shots is diminished until it essentially becomes so ineffective until the bullets are no longer really deflected at all. So, and it doesn't take very long. It doesn't really take that many shots to see, like this one's only at 30%. It's slowly recharging its effectiveness or its power. But it only takes a few shots to really overwhelm these, and it seems as though, yeah, Teal has an Intimidator of his own, the core Bertha. So, with Teal having his own Bertha, and with Blue having 3 of his, this is going to be a quite devastating push here onto Yellow's base. Even with all these shields, it seems like he will slowly crumble. So let's go ahead and look at the player bases. Yellow building, continuing to build raiding forces. Red on T3 building Thors. Orange building some Fat Boys. And Beige, what is Beige doing? It's hard to say what Beige is doing exactly. Pink seems to be throwing up some defense. But something is hitting these Berthas, and I haven't quite seen it. I haven't been watching, but something is getting them really low. Try to keep an eye on that because these Berthas have almost died a couple times now, and blue desperately attempting to repair them. But I'm not exactly sure what is causing them to lose so much HP. There could be a tactical nuke somewhere. Now, Red does have one Bertha of his own, but I don't think one Bertha could do this so quickly. So it has to be something else. Something hurt those Berthas. Yeah, he did take out this Bertha here, so Team 2 definitely firing back. And but Blue definitely feels like he's in control of the game here. I mean, just if you look at his economy, it's massive. He's making a huge amount of eco. He's got advanced solar collectors and energy converters galore. It is a sight to behold. This is what a proper eco base looks like. So, and now working on T3, he certainly will have the resources to do it. But yeah, what we see here is an artillery war of the First Order. This Bertha now at 20%, firing back. But yeah, it does go down as Blue has more long-range plasma cannons to take it out. So, guys, right now I think both players or both teams are just building up their forces. Aside from this long-range shelling campaign, right now I think it is a game of macro and army building. So let's go ahead and speed it up. Blue building these vanguards, and the vanguards are essentially like novas. They're the novas of the bar world. It's a T3 walking Bertha or walking long-range plasma cannon. That is their function. And they need to be careful though, because yellow does have a lot of defense here. There's some dominators as well as these toasters to push those back. And yeah, he'll need to have the proper amount of vanguards before he does make or attempt to make an assault. However, Green massing up his own T3 here. He's got the Marauders. Marauder is the arm amphibious mech. It is, it's kind of a strange unit. It's kind of like a raiding T3 K-bot, so it's fast. It's actually fast. It does decent damage. And, again, it's really quick for a T3 unit, and it has really good, terrain climbing ability, so they can get over obstacles very easily that might be untraversable by other units. So we'll have to see what Green wants to do with that, but yeah, in the meantime, again, we are just kind of watching the players massing up their armies. But Blue at this point has a lot of vanguards. He has 15. And these vanguards, again, are kind of like walking Berthas. If you get enough of them, they will be quite devastating. And even with these shields that will block plasma shells... Oh my god, dude. Okay, so Blue just paralyzed this entire defensive force. And that will make the shields go down, and now Blue capitalizing with these powerful vanguards, raining hell. The EMP is starting to wear off, the shields are coming back, but is it too little too late? Oh my god, these vanguards are absolutely shelling this base. Holy crap. Red moving in to try to stop this with a group of Fidos. Push that aggression back, but there's just so many vanguards here. And yeah, here's the paralyzers, EMP launchers. He's launching more now. This is In Escalation, it's a little... I mean, in Bar, it's a little different than Escalation. The core does get the regular tactical nuke launcher, but the arm gets a paralyzer. So it doesn't do any damage, but it paralyzes the units in its radius. For quite a long time, it's a pretty large radius of the missile. And as you saw, it's an extremely effective way to temporarily shut down defenses. Here we go. Comes another attack. Another missile barrage of EMP rockets. And that will take down the defenses again. Everything on the screen has been completely paralyzed, rendered inoperable. Oh my goodness. That is just disgusting to watch. And even the shields struggling. More paralysis coming in here. But, yeah, these Vanguards just don't seem to care as they ruthlessly shell this base. With near impunity, I mean, their range is just so long that it doesn't seem that the Eastern team has much to deal with them as they slowly tear apart this base. And, you know, I mean, Yellow had a lot of defense here, but these are a good counter to defense. It's just going to be tough for the Eastern team to do much of anything against that. It's just so many Vanguards. I almost said Novas, but no, they can't be Novas because Novas are like actually useless, and the Vanguards actually seem strong. So, but it's the same principle. Green now finally moving in with this army of Marauders, but there is a Thor, the experimental Terminator tank, and these are very effective, even against groups of T3 apparently. That took out like half of that army by itself. And while Green still does have a raiding force, he still has about like 8 of those left. Grack here with the D-guns to clean it up and make sure that Green does not get into his base here. Green juking those D-guns, but it just won't be enough. And doing a good job of stopping that because, yeah, these units could have easily walked into Pink's base and killed all of that eco, and then maybe even walked into Beige's base as well. So, yeah, Beige there with some nice D-guns, and of course this Thor as well. A big part of stopping that attack. But, guys, the Thor... It's really interesting. There is a unit like it in Escalation. I don't remember what it's called, but it's like the ARM T3 Lightning tank. It's kind of like that. We've seen it in previous casts. But this thing is slow but extremely powerful and kind of hard to deal with without proper counters. Here in the top, Blue continuing his shelling campaign of the Eastern team's base, and I have to say the Eastern team doing a valiant job of defending, but between these Berthas and Vanguards, it may not be enough. But this Thor continuing to move through, he's at 36%, but do they have enough to kill it? I mean, all these Mercuries are anti-air, so these are useless. They cannot stop it, and this Thor feels as though it is just going to walk into Green's base and take out a ton of eco. You know, its weapon seems to have some kind of chain lightning effect, and Green has a Thor of his own now, but I don't know. What can Orange do before he finally dies? He's attacking this factory, he's getting it low, it is at 10%. He gets the T3 factory to 7% before finally dying, but I would have to say that Thor was worth its weight in gold. Great counterattack there by Orange, but again, I just don't know if it's going to matter. These Vanguards putting on that relentless pressure. More EMPs coming in. Slow down the units and to disable the defenses as well. And also in the back, I mean, Teal has quite a few Intimidators pumping out those plasma shells of their own. So, guys, let me see if I can turn off the, at some point, I'm trying to turn off all these. I guess I'll figure it out next game. Oh, here we go. Radar range, scanner range, jammer range. Defense ranges. Huh. Well, I was trying to turn off all these yellow circles that you see on the map. I think that might be the tactical nuke defense range. It's not that big of a deal. I might figure it out next game, like what's causing those circles. But yeah, ultimately Blue in a dominant position, and he now has 5 Thors moving into the front line. We already saw how much damage 1 Thor can do, but 5 with all these Vanguards in the back, you have to think that could just end the game on its own. Yeah, these Thors now moving into Yellow's base. They will take out Yellow's commander, and these Vanguards continuing to push as well. Dark Green now has a Krogoth too, and as we saw in the previous cast, Krogoths are kind of armies unto themselves. A very powerful unit. Might even be able to just walk into this defense and kill it all by itself. But guys, I think this game is about over. It was pretty interesting and close. I mean, both teams seem to have a pretty good shot, but ultimately, oh, here we go. Beige trying to get some D-guns. Oh, he gets 1 D-gun before just exploding to those Thors. But yeah, Blue now moving into the Eastern team, their base, and I think the Eastern team will call it there. So guys, that was an interesting game. A lot of really cool units and strategies being used. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you want more bar content. And yeah, I will see you in the next cast.